Hi everyone, good day. My name is Jonabel Nunez from Bachelor of Secondary Education, major in English, Section 1A. I will be presenting to you my insights about 4 questions that was given to our instructor, and it's all about Bangladesh English. So here with me guys as I will answer those 4 questions. How English arrived in Bangladesh and discussed based on the phases presented in the material. The arrival of English in Bangladesh can be understood through 3 phases. The colonial era on the year of 1757 to 1947, the Pakistan era from 1947 to 1971, and the post-independence era on 1971 and onwards. Colonial era. So during the colonial era, English was introduced to the Indian subcontinent by the British East India Company. So initially used as a language of trade, English schools were later established for European and local children to spread Western knowledge. The Charter Act of 1813 marked a significant development, setting aside money for education of Indians, but English remained limited to the elite. The Woods Dispatch in 1854 further cemented the divide, with English becoming the language of colonial administration while education for the masses was in local languages. Pakistan era. So during the Pakistan era, after the British left in 1947, the Indian subcontinent was divided into 2 nations, India and Pakistan. Bangladesh, then known as East Pakistan, was linguistically, culturally, and geographically distinct from West Pakistan, while Urdu was promoted as the national language to unite the two wings of Pakistan. English continued to be used as a neutral political tool for communication between them. English also maintained its dominance in education, which further perpetuated social divisions along linguistic lines. The post-independence era. So after gaining independence from Pakistan in 1971, Bangladesh initially replaced English with Bangla as the national language in important domains. However, within a decade, English regained favor due to globalization and privatization of education. A private English education market emerged to cater to the demand for English proficiency among the wealthier class. So the public sector also recognized the importance of English for international communication and started giving greater prominence to English in national languages or national language policies and curriculum. What is the status of English in terms of education and language policies in Bangladesh? The status of English in education and language policies in Bangladesh is complex and unclear. There is no comprehensive policy on English that applies to the whole society, and language issues have not received sufficient policy attention. The National Education Policy does not have a dedicated chapter on languages or language education, and there are no explicit policies for languages other than Bangla. Although there are laws to promote the use of Bangla, they are not fully implemented, and English has de facto status in some areas without policy provisions. So there is also a concern about inadequate English proficiency among the general population, but reliance on English may also result in limited proficiency in Bangla, raising concerns about education in the country. Given the ambiguity, it is important to examine the role of English in key domains to better understand its status in Bangladesh. Describe the functions of English in terms of education, employment, media and entertainment, politics, NGOs, creative writing, electronic communication. Education. English serves as a language for learning and functional proficiency, and as a medium of instruction in education, it has varying curricular status across different streams of education with widespread use in private English medium schools and universities. However, there are concerns about the inefficient cultivation of English in education and its impact on society. Private universities have adopted English as the sole medium of instruction, but there are no specific policies regarding language or medium of instruction. Further improvements and policy considerations may be needed. Employment. English has varying function in employment in Bangladesh. It is crucial in private sectors such as education, RMG, IT, and banking, but not commonly used in the public sector. English proficiency is seen as an advantage in the job market and is important for labor migration. Skill gaps drive education towards economization and vocationalization, where English is often perceived as a necessary skill for employability. Media and entertainment. English has a modest role in media and entertainment in Bangladesh, with Bangla and Hindi being the dominant languages. English is mainly used for news calling and processing, with English newspapers and programs on state-run and private television channels. Compliance with language restrictions may apply, as English media in Bangladesh may be subject to language regulations. Politics. English serves several functions in politics in Bangladesh, including being used in political party websites, being used for direct contact with people in political meetings and campaigns, being the language of communication in talk shows, being part of a balanced planning with Bangla, and being considered in a zero-sum relationship with Bangla to maintain its dignity. However, there are no specific policies for English in politics, and its functions are largely determined by the practices and preferences of political actors. NGOs. English serves as the dominant language in non-government organizations or NGOs in Bangladesh, with a strong presence in written communication, including international communication, fundraising efforts, and research publication. English is used for accessing global resources and networks, and NGOs also recognize the importance of using Bangla for local communication. Overall, English plays a significant role in facilitating the operations and impact of NGOs in Bangladesh. Creative writing. English in the context of creative writing in Bangladesh functions as a historical tradition with a literary legacy dating back to the British Bengal period. It is gaining vibrancy and recognition through events like the Hay Festival and the proliferation of English medium schools and dailies. So English also serves as a medium for translation between English and Bangla, allowing for literary exchange, and is included in anthologies, providing a platform for Bangladeshi writers to share their stories with a wider audience. So overall, English plays a significant role in the creative writing landscape of Bangladesh, encompassing historical, vibrant, translational, and inclusive functions. Inclusive functions. Electronic communication. English serves as the dominant language in the email communication in the private sector in Bangladesh, while SMS communication often combines Bangla and English. English is creatively used in social media platforms like Facebook and WhatsApp, reflecting linguistic diversity and individual preferences. These functions of English in electronic communication in Bangladesh are shaped by the context of language use and can be explored further from a world English's perspective. Last question is, what is code mixing, code switching and technology-mediated innovations in Bangladesh. Code mixing and code switching are observed in Bangladesh, particularly in SMS text, where English and Bangla are blended to varying degrees by established businesses to inform customers about products and services. So, this practice is used to project a globalized identity, accommodate customers from different linguistic backgrounds, and make messaging more convenient. Technology mediated innovations such as web addresses of businesses, media, and cultural institutions also mix English and Bangla words. Code mixing and linguistic transgressions are also found in the urban linguistic landscape, including signs and billboards where English, Bangla, and other languages are sometimes mixed. So, political party names in Bangladesh also exhibit code mixing, with words from Urdu, Bangla, and Arabic being used in combination.